Welcome to this video on using SharePoint to collaborate with people and organisations outside Peabody. In this video, we'll look at what is a SharePoint extranet, how to set up a new extranet for your team, how to share things with people outside Peabody, and how to manage access to things you've shared. If you and your team need to share documents and collaborate with somebody outside Peabody, particularly when it's for an ongoing project, you can do this easily with an external-facing SharePoint site. We're calling them extranets to distinguish them from ordinary SharePoints, which are only for sharing with colleagues inside Peabody. Extranets work like any other SharePoint site, so if you already know how to use SharePoint to share links with your colleagues, it works in just the same way, but you can give access to people who are outside Peabody. You get complete control over who can see your documents, whether they can edit them or just view, and you can change or remove their access whenever you need. To create a new extranet, you'll need approval from IT and from your head of service. There's more information about this process in the description below. You'll need to give the domain name of at least one organisation you're sharing documents with. Once a domain name is on the whitelist for your extranet, it means you can share documents with anyone who has an email ending with that domain name. If you want to share documents with another organisation, you'll need to have their domain name added to the whitelist. You can whitelist up to 100 domain names on any extranet site. If you need more than 100, remove old organisations you don't share with anymore, or consider having multiple extranets for different teams or projects in your department. When your new extranet is created, you'll get a link to it from IT. If you have admin rights to your extranet, you can give access rights to other members of your team. All extranets have the prefix EXT to distinguish them from sites which are internal only. Click the star in the top right to follow your site. That way you can easily find sites you follow on Office 365. Before you start sharing, it's best to organise your files in folders. Create a folder either for each project you're working on, or for each single organisation you're going to be sharing with. To create a folder, go to Documents, click New, and then Folder. Then give your folder a name. Add documents to your folder either by dragging and dropping them from your computer, or you can use the Upload button, or you can copy them here from another SharePoint. To share an individual file, hover over it and click the Share button. Type in the email address of the person you want to share it with, then click it. You can add as many people as you like, but remember you'll only be able to share with organisations that are on your site's whitelist, or with other Peabody colleagues. You can add a note saying a bit more about what you're sharing, then click Send. If you want to write a longer email, you can click the Outlook button, which will open Outlook 365, or you could just copy the link to paste into an email. When you share a document, by default you're giving people access to read and edit the document. If you only want them to read the document, click where it says People You Specify to see more options. Untick Allow Editing to make their access read-only. If you enable block download, they'll only be able to view the document in a web browser. Once you've changed the settings, click Apply. If you want to share multiple documents, you can share the whole folder. If you're working in a big project, it's really useful to share whole folders, but be careful. When you share a folder, they'll have access to all the files and folders that are there now, and anything new that's added in future. When you share a file or folder, the person gets an email with a link. When they click the link, they'll be sent a verification code, which they have to enter before they can see the documents. If they don't have a Microsoft account associated with their email address, they'll only be able to see things in the browser, not in the desktop apps. To see who has access to a shared file or folder, click the three dots next to it, then select Manage Access. On the right is a list of sharing links for this item. Click the drop-down to see the specific people you've shared with. You can remove access for individual people by clicking their X next to their email address. For more options, click the three dots next to the link. Link settings shows what kind of access this link gives. Right now, specific people with this link can edit it. To change their access from edit to read only, click here and select Can View. You can remove access for everyone by deleting a shared link. To remove a link, click the X next to it. Lastly, you can see who has accessed files on your extranet by going to the Settings, then Site Usage. This page gives you useful information about who's viewed documents and when. Thanks for watching this video about sharing documents. I really hope you found it useful. For more information, check out our user guide on the pod.